Hey y'all, it's Lauren, and today has been so interesting so far. I had a job interview today for Journeys, and I was like, yes, because I've always wanted to work there. I was like, it'd be such a fun job and everything. I'm looking bomb today. I'm like, yes, I am ready for this interview. I look fire. And then I go to my car, and it's a flat tire. I have a flat tire right now, and I don't know what to do. I had to cancel my interview, reschedule it for this weekend when I had plans, and it's just not been a good day. Besides that point, I needed to film a video, so I had some free time. I'm a little stressed, a little hyped up, so I'm gonna tell y'all the story, my concert experience at the One Direction concert. Best night of my life ever. So to start off, okay, I saw them on August 19th of 2014 at their Where We Are tour in Nashville. And so I had begged my mom. I was like,
Mom, give me concert tickets. Mom, I need them. Mom, give them to me.
And she was just like,
No.
and I was like, I need them, give them here. And she was like, no, never. And so one day I was just driving down the road, and I hear on the radio,
Like, do you want to go see One Direction?
I was like, bitch, yes. Like, this is my band. Like, these are my boys.
The biggest One Direction fan is gonna win front row seats to the One Direction concert in Nashville.
I was like, I need to do this. And long story short, what you had to do was whoever had the most One Direction merchandise would get the tickets. And well, I love One Direction, and like I do like Tumblr stuff with them and like other things besides like go to Hot Topic and buy all their t-shirts. And I'm like, well, I don't have that much like merchandise. Like, these are old pictures. Like, I'm not gonna walk around in like a One Direction like carrot looking top. So I was never really my thing. Like, I was more of like the fangirl. I'm not like wearing all their merch. So I told my sister, and she like is equally obsessed with them as me. And I told her, and I was just like, oh my god, like, we have to do this. And so I had a brilliant idea.
Since we're supposed to have all the merchandise, why don't we just go buy some? And then when we win, we can just return everything and get our money back.
So we literally spent 3 days straight driving around my town, hitting every single store, including thrift stores, to buy everything with One Direction's faces on it. We bought One Direction watches, we bought One Direction posters, we bought like One Direction like cards, One Direction like lanyards, like anything that had their face. Like, we would just walk around and we're like, where? Oh, I see One Direction over here, let's buy it. One Direction over here, let's buy it. We like collected all of our receipts like this high. We also borrowed One Direction stuff from my sister's best friend because she had One Direction everything, so we just took all her stuff too and combined it. It was just a great time, and it was a bonding experience of me and her, you know. Well, I kid you not, it got a little extreme. We made One Direction flip-flops. We bought like the cheap, like, you know, shower flip-flops from Walmart for like 99 cents or whatever, and we painted on them One Direction, I love Liam, I love Louis. Like, we wrote on those, and then I decided that I was gonna make cookies, and I cut out the one and I made a D, and we like made balloons of like One Direction written on the balloons, and like we like printed off our fan accounts and like showed them, and like we were tweeting them, and we're like,
Bitch, you better let me win.
and like all of my mutuals, I didn't even ask them to, they were just like, you better make sure they win, otherwise they gonna lose. We set up a table. My sister picked me up from school, and we drove over there to the studio, and we set up our table and everything, and like the people there had like magazines, cutouts, and we're over here with
Balloons, flip-flops, cookies, edit videos, One Direction everything, One Direction pillows.
So like the judges come around, and we're like, hey, like, you know, this is literally all of ours. And they were like, oh, okay, wow, like, you know. And they saw our fan accounts, and they were like, oh, that's y'all? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, oh, I was wondering if they would ever show up, like, if y'all were gonna be here. I was like, yeah, I will. And I was like, you better
Give me these tickets. Like, I need these tickets. Like, you're giving them to me.
go around everybody, and they come out, and they're like, okay, so you had to, like, put your name and your number, like, you had, like, a number, and you put your name down. And, like, oh my god. They put in, like, the top 3 people into, like, a bucket. And then whoever else, like, the 3 people that weren't in the bucket got, like, a free Midnight Memory CD and stuff. And so they handed me this Midnight Memory CD, and, like, this girl was like, that means you lost. And I just felt my heart sink into my stomach. And I started sobbing, and my sister was holding me, and I was just crying, and I was like, I didn't want a free CD that I already own. Like, I wanted the tickets, and I was like, this is never gonna happen. I'm never, ever going to see One Direction. And so I'm sobbing. My sister's like, it's okay. It's okay. I'm like, it's not okay. Like, I'm never gonna win. They were calling out the numbers and everything, and whoever was the last person to be drawn means you won. And they said, number 7. I was like, huh? And my sister was like, that's us? And they were like, Lauren and Caitlin, y'all are the winners. And I swear, like, I'm getting emotional just thinking about this. I swear to you, like, I was sobbing. I almost threw up. I just was screaming, and I almost hit these people because, like, I was jumping. And it was just the greatest feeling I have ever had in my life. And so we were like, come up here and get your tickets. And I'm like, oh my god, like, holy crap. And so we grab our tickets, and, like, I didn't know where the hell these tickets were. And, like, I looked at them and everything, and, like, they said section C, like, row 20 or something. It was, like, section C, like, on the floor. And I was like, they're on the floor. Like, I was just freaking out. I looked ratchet as hell the next day. I couldn't sleep. Literally, like, I looked so ratchet. Like, I had no time to pick out an outfit. I had no time to, like, make posters. I had no time to, like, think about what was happening. I just went. We drove to Nashville, and I was just headed to go see my favorite band of all time. And, like, we get there, and we're, like, in the line and everything. We got there pretty early. We got there, like, about, I don't know, it's probably, like, 3 p.m., and the doors open at, like, 7, just because, like, we left early, and, like, we didn't really have anything else to do, so we just kind of hung out at the venue. And it was really, really, really hot that day. It was at least 100. It was so humid. Doors open. I was like, oh my god. And, like, I was just, like, wanting to cry the whole time. We didn't, like, even look up our tickets on Ticketmaster or anything. We just kind of had our ticket, and we just went with it. And, like, so we, like, got in and everything. We started walking. And, like, I feel like if you've ever had floor seats, you know this feeling. And so, like, I'm looking for C, like, the sign with the C on it, and I'm looking, and I'm like, that is so close to the stage. I was like, oh my god. And so, like, I kept walking lower, and they would check my ticket. And then I would walk lower, and I would be like, oh my god, we're so close to the stage. And they're like, you go down here, a little bit further down. You go lower, and they would, like, give you a wristband. And keep in mind, that wristband I got, I did not take it off for, like, 6 months. Like, I left that thing on for 6 months. Like, it was raggedy AF. Because it wasn't the nice ones, it was just the paper ones. It looked ridiculous. Just go lower and lower. And I, like, go lower. And I'm like, the stage was just so close to my face. And, like, I get in and everything, and we, like, trying to find, like, our exact seat numbers. And so we sit, and it's, like, it was like, okay, so the stage was, like, here, and then they had the catwalk, you know, and so, like, C was, like, right here, but the seats went, like, 26, 25, 24, all the way to 1, and we were, like, 6, like, 8, so we were, like, in the middle of our row, and so we were, like, a good, like, 10 feet, 15 feet away from, like, the catwalk, and it was, like, right where, like, they sit down, like, ahead of all the poles and everything, you know what I'm talking about, and they would sit right there and, like, sing. It was pretty much even with that. So it was, like, halfway down the catwalk. And so I was just freaking out, and I was like, I can't believe we're this close. Okay, so they have a barricade. The one I was at, they had a barricade that was, like, 5-10 feet away from the catwalk, and then they had the barricade had like a black thing on it that was like about like this wide, and get like a selfie with the stage. Security guard was like,
"You can't stand on the black thing. Get off of that."
And I'm like, okay. So I just kind of like stood off of it and took my picture. And then like, I hadn't ate at all that day. I had like 2 bottles of water with us that I had bought, and I was like, I'm not leaving this seat. I am sitting in this seat for the next 3 hours. And they started like, they started playing music and stuff, and like the Macarena and everything that they always do. And it was just I was having a good time. By the time Five Sauce had come out, our row was empty. Like, the show had started and our row was completely empty. And so me and my sister were like, let's just move up. Like, we were the only people on our row, literally. So we moved up to seats 1 and 2 that I was telling y'all about, right by the catwalk. And like, so I was like 5 feet literally from the stage. Five Sauce comes out and everything. Let's see, Michael stuck his tongue out at us, posing for our picture. And then Callum, he was mouthing stuff to us, like me and my sister and these girls behind us. And she was obsessed with Callum, and she was freaking out. It was so funny. So then after Five Sauce leaves, then they just play more music and stuff, and then the safety video would come on, and I just remember like they were all like, they had the boys talking, and then Louis was just like,
"Please don't stand on the chair. We care too much about you." And they're like, "Please make sure you stay hydrated during the show."
And like all this stuff that you're not allowed to do, like don't stand on the chairs, don't throw things, don't, be civil people. This was just going in one ear and out the other. I was like, I'm not gonna be civil. Like, it was just going through me. I was like, Louis, you bitch. Like, I ain't saying doing what you say. Like, you're not in charge of me. After that video, and so they played like some more music for a little bit, like not that long, like 5 minutes worth. And then the lights go out. And I started flipping my shit. I was like, oh my God. Like, I'm trying to be calm in this video, but I know I'm not going to be. I'm literally shaking. Like, okay, like, the lights just go out, and I just felt this thrill. To be honest with y'all, like, that whole the whole concert, pretty much, I was just blacked out. Like, I was in shock. I was in complete shock. So, like, some things I'm gonna say is, like, just really, like, patchy and, like, doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But what can you do? And then they played the intro video, and I was just screaming my guts out. And when they showed Louis' part, because I love Louis, and I was just screaming, and I was screaming, oh my God, I love Louis. And these girls in front of me, like, I hate them. They just, like, kind of just turned around and were like, what the heck? Like, they were high-key judging, and I'm like, they're like, yeah, Louis is, like, ugly. I was like, Louis? Bitch. Louis is ugly. He's ugly, okay. I see. I was like, okay. And then he's gay, and I'm like, okay, well, why does that matter? It really doesn't, does it? And so they were just like, they were just being annoying. A lot of the people on the floor are ones that, I don't mean to, like, offend anyone, but those are the girls that, like, really, like, just kind of care about one member of the band. They don't know all the songs. They literally don't know all the songs. They know their hit songs, and they just kind of want to, like, be there just for bragging rights, or they think Harry is attractive, and they're just kind of there because, like, they want Harry to, like, flirt with them or whatever. And I'm just like, y'all need
to stop. Like, y'all can go to, like, the nosebleed, please.
So yeah, like, then after the intro video, the lights go out, and all you hear is
straight off the plane to a new hotel.
And it just, like, is this pause. And I didn't know this. And I just started screaming, and I felt tears coming. And I was just like, holy crap. And then, like, the thing raises up, and they're like,
just touched down, you can never tell.
And, like, I just looked, and I was like, it's them. The 5 guys that I love to death, like, are just standing about 20 feet away at the top of the stage. And I was just like, oh, Oh my god. And I just started screaming and jumping and like I couldn't breathe. I felt like I was going to be sick. And I was just dying. Like after Midnight Memories, they started actually walking down the catwalk, which is where I was. And like they started singing Little Black Dress. And Harry, like, okay, so like Harry was walking during his part and like he was walking like on our side. Me and my sister loves Harry, and me and my sister were like waving and like jumping and like doing all kinds of crazy like booty twerking and like going nuts. And we're like doing all this crazy stuff while we're like waving and like trying to get noticed by them. And I swear on my life, Harry comes down the catwalk. And this bitch, whew, this bitch, okay, like, this bitch, he comes down the catwalk singing, and he looks down, I swear on my life, he looks down, literally, towards me and my sister, and he just starts, like, smiling, and he just kind of, like, waves and stuff, and then he just walks, and I'm like, what the heck? And these girls behind us were like,
holy shit, he just waved at y'all.
Like, I was like, man, he's just waving at the crowd. And then these girls were like, he waved at y'all, like, literally. And my sister was, like, literally about to freaking cry. Like, full on. She's like, my sunshine waved at me. Like, she was just losing herself. And, of course, the dumbasses we are, we weren't recording or doing anything during this time. Halfway through the show, like, I don't know how many, like, songs it was in. Like I said, I blacked out. Like, I was just in shock. I don't know what I did. I screamed, I danced, like I was just blacked out. I just couldn't process what was happening in front of my face. Like I couldn't process that One Direction, the people that I love, like have loved for like 4 years, are in front of my face. Like this is the closest I'm ever going to be to them, and it just was too much going on in my head and just too much happening. The security guard comes up to me and my sister, and he was like,
"Are these your seats?"
And we're like, I was like, yeah, like, fam, like, these are my seats. My sister was like, no, like, these aren't our seats. Like, I think she thought, like, in the moment they were going to kick us out. And he was like,
go back to your seats.
And stuff. And I'm like, okay. So, like, we kind of just, like, start walking back towards our seats. And, like, at this point, like, okay, people, like, 3 people next to us showed up. And they were chill. Like, there was, like, a little girl and, like, her mom and some other lady. And they were chill and everything. Like, those, like, we weren't in their seats. So, like, I keep walking. And then when I get to my real seats, there's, like, 2 girls in our seats. And I'm like, go up there. Like, I was like, these are the girls. Like, go up there to your seats and, like, get out of our seats. And she's like, these are our seats. And I'm like, no, it isn't. Like, what the hell? And they started screaming at us. And, like, she started offending One Direction and, like, saying all kinds of trash about them. They started yelling at each other. And I was screaming at her, and, like, I was literally about to punch her in the face, and I know that's horrible, but, like, she was pissing me off. She was like, these are our seats, like, blah, 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 like, One Direction is such idiots, like, Louis is so ugly, like, so many people said Louis was ugly, and I just wanted to, just, like, hurt them. And I'm like, you don't say that if you're gonna be front row at a concert of a band. Girl that was yelling at me, her friend, and my sister were trying to keep us apart so we don't, like, kill each other. Like, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna enjoy the concert. Forget about these people. Like, they are not important. Then I was really pissed off because the next song was Little Things, and Liam was sitting, like, you know how I told y'all how we sat in front of the thing where they sit? Liam was sitting right there. And this is what pissed me off. No one had those 2 seats. No one ever showed up for those 2 seats that we took. Ever. The whole hour and a half. No one showed up. At all. And then, like, the little girl and her mom or whatever moved up to the 2 seats. And then, so everyone just kind of, like, moved up 2 seats. And I was like, are you serious right now? This is when I started to get heated. And Liam was sitting there, and during Little Things, and, like, okay, without, like, when he wasn't singing his solos or whatever, he, like, put his mic away, and he was, like, talking to this little girl. I was like, that could be me. That could have been me. If, like, the guard hadn't said anything. The girl that it wasn't even her seats got to, like, talk to Liam and stuff, and he was, like, waving at her and, like, being all cute, and I was like, that could be me, but it's not, because someone had to ruin it. And it just really pissed me off. And so I was furious at this point. And I was mad because Louis was not, like, he was on the, like, the opposite side the whole time. And I just wanted him to be on my side for, like, 5 minutes just so I could, like, be close, you know? Because, like, it was mainly Harry and Liam. Then after little things, I said, don't forget where you belong. And Niall was like, it's so hot out here. Like, I don't know how y'all are living. Like, it's so hot back home. It's, like, super, like cold and rainy. And I was like, you are so adorable. You need to stop being so cute. Their personalities come through, like, so much. They, like, Harry is super interactive with the crowd and super interactive with the girls. Like, he noticed us, like, 3 times. Like, he was, like, standing in front of us, like, mouthing stuff to my sister and, like, waving at, like, us. And it's just crazy because, like, you don't think it's actually towards you because, you know, the spotlight, they can't see. But when people around you were like, oh my god, he did stuff to you, it's like, oh my god. It was mainly towards, like, my sister, though, because, like, I wasn't doing anything, really, and she was, like, waving because she's obsessed with Harry and, like, screaming his name. Louis, that bitch. Like, oh my god. I hate him, but I also love him to death. He's, like, he's super, like, I don't know how to describe it, like, he's really, like, rude. Like, you can tell that he'd be an ass or something, like, I don't know. I just felt that way, like, he's super sassy. He's like, I don't really care what anyone thinks of me, like, I'm just up here to sing, like, y'all can hate me, I really don't care, like, I'm still here. And, like, he's super, like, I'm not gonna notice anyone. Like, he, at least at my show, he didn't really notice anybody. I'll get to that in a minute. Niall, you can tell he's so laid back. He is so appreciative of us, like, of the fans and everything, and, like, so, like, appreciative, and he just is super homebound and, like, laid back and really, like, grounded. And then Liam is super sweet and, like, he tried to make that little girl happy, and it was just so adorable. And then Zane, he was kind of, Zane was really, really quiet at my show. Like, he talked when he had to, and he sang when he had to. And he walked around. Like, he wasn't energetic or anything, really. And so in the back of my mind, I was like, he's probably just having a bad day. Like, he's literally been on the road for, like, so many months. He's probably worn out. He's having a bad day. But now that he left and stuff, I kind of can see it. Like, I kind of could see how he didn't like it because he wasn't, like, fit in. It felt like there was 4 bands and then there was Zane. So it kind of was weird to me. And during Story of My Life, towards the end, Louis came over to the right side of the stage. And I lost it. Girl, let me tell you, I lost it. I don't know what came over me. Like, I stood on the chair, and then this guard was like,
get down.
I'm like, I ain't getting down. I'm going to stand in this chair. And she was like, I'm going to kick you out. I was like, okay, I'll get back down. Out of that chair, I, like, pushed. Okay, the chairs were zip tied together. I pushed the chairs up. That girl that hates Louis stared at me. Pushed my way up past the woman and her daughter. And I got back up to the front. And I started screaming his name. And I was screaming and, like, waving. And I was like, you have to notice me. And, like, I screamed so hard. Like, I've never screamed so hard in my life. And I just was staring at him. And I was like, it's really him. Like, it's really the guy that I love. And, like, I sound stupid, but I was just like, this is the guy that I just care about, and he's like 5 feet away. And that in itself literally killed me. That just, it made me so happy, and it felt so good, and I wish I could be in that moment for the rest of my life, but I know I won't. Like, it was great. And then he sang his solo on my side for Story of My Life. And then he just, like, waved to, like, this group of girls, like, me and, like, these other girls that he waved, like, at us and everything. And I just was, like, I was freaking out. And then I was just in complete shock. And I didn't know what happened. I just started, like, I started to feel sick. Like, literally sick. And it was hot, and I had a throbbing headache. Like, I'm pretty sure I had a heat stroke. Those 2 water bottles I drank in, like, the first 30 minutes of sitting out there. And I hadn't ate all day, like, And I just started, like, I know this is so stupid. I just started throwing up. Like, it wasn't, like, actual throw up. It was just, like, stomach acid. And I just started feeling like I literally got sick. And this guard was like,
"You can't throw up here. You have to go somewhere else."
and I was like, "I'm not leaving." And she was like, "You can't throw up here." I'm like, "Well, I ain't going anywhere." And so I just kind of, like, stopped. And then I just drank, like, last swig of water that I had. One of the parts, you know, where Harry, like, pours the water in his mouth and he spits it out. He did that in front of us and I lost it. I was going insane. And, like, I was like, "Oh my god." And when I went like that, the water landed on my hand and I was like, "Oh my god."
Because spit water is on my hand. Like,
It was so funny. It was crazy. And I just sound like a moron saying all this stuff. Just a crazy night, you know, like, it was just, I couldn't ask for anything else. Like, and then when Best Song Ever, and that's their last song, and they started running, I just started crying. I was like, it's gonna be over. Like, I was just crying my eyes out and everything. Just a crazy day. Like, honestly, I would never have thought that I would be front row. You know, you see it on Twitter, you see it on YouTube, you see all this stuff of being front row, and you're like, that's never gonna happen to me. Well, it is. It will. And I feel like everyone should be in, like, the front row, or at least on the floor for one of their concerts, because it's literally the greatest thing ever. Like, they interact with you, and you can interact with them, and, like, it's worth it. Like, it honestly is worth it. Like, I would do front row again. Like, it is, besides the annoying people that don't like them, and everything, like, it is worth it, and it was literally the best night of my life. And, like, at the end, I was just like, did that happen? Like, did those 5 guys just come out, notice me, sing to me, and, like, be awesome and everything? Like, did that just happen? Like, I dream about this. Like, did that just happen? And it did. So, you know, it was one of the best nights of my life, and it was a concert that I'm probably never ever going to forget. I'm sorry that it was super, probably very vague, but that's literally all I can remember, because I was just in so much shock. Like, I blacked out, like, completely. Like, sometimes I'm just, like, looking back at my videos and I'm like, even right after the concert, I was like, wait, they sang that song? Or, like, I'm listening to their music and I'm like, hey, Caitlin, like, my sister, did they even, like, sing this? And she's like, yeah, they sang that. And I was like, I don't even remember, like, them saying that. Also, I want to add, their voices in person don't sound like they do in videos. It's the weirdest thing. Like, I honestly had no idea who was talking. Like, when Louis was talking, I thought Liam was talking, and I was trying to figure out who was talking because I couldn't figure it out. Like, I was like, oh my god, Liam's talking, and then I looked over and there's Louis talking in the microphone, and there's Liam sitting there, the mic sitting beside him. It was just weird. Like, their voices sound completely different than you think they would. Like, I hope y'all like this video. Be sure to subscribe. I'm hoping to do, I think I'm going to stick to the Saturday upload thing. Also, I'm trying to get, like, a new camera, because this one is pretty bad. Hopefully I'll be able to get one of them soon, but I honestly don't know if I will, but I hope to get one sometime in the next month or so for a new camera, so these videos turn out a lot better than they would on this camera. Like this video if y'all enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up, and if y'all want to see more, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next Saturday. Bye!